Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have had some sort of break. Recognise a lot of you have been busy marking and getting prepared for the new term, but hopefully you've had an opportunity for a bit of downtime. So I thought just a quick podcast now to welcome you all back to the second block of the course and just to remind you of where you should be up to and what lies ahead. If you look at the course for week of the 22nd of November to 2nd of December. That was the last formal week of the first block. And there's a summary there of everything that you should have done so far. The main thing to focus on at this stage is getting your case studies sorted and aiming to get case studies completed really by the end of January, so that then for the remainder of the course you've got 2 or 3 weeks to get writing your reflection and writing about CEDA values. More of that shortly. So in your portfolio so far, you've got your diagnostic, you've got your roles and reflection on that. You've got notes and comments on reading. You've been contributing to the weekly forums. Some of you perhaps more than others, but really do try and make sure you engage in that, because that is something that we expect people to do to meet the outcomes of the course. And the key for the case study is that your case study or case studies, and you can have more than one, cover the areas that you need to demonstrate evidence for the specialist outcomes. So that's identifying goals for staff and academic development, planned and led those processes, facilitated and led processes and activities to achieve agreed goals, monitored and evaluated the effectiveness and the acceptability of the development processes, and then identified any appropriate follow-up development or activity. And if you remember back earlier in the course, you had a template which asked you to map out what it is that you were going to include in your case study, and asks you to identify what the possible barriers to that were. And that's really barriers in terms of completing the specialist outcomes. So where you have issues, often people think that they've got a good case study and then find they just simply don't have the evidence. So that's what it was asking you to do. So if you're not sure about how you're going to complete your case studies, please get in touch with your tutor as a matter of speed this week, so that we can ensure everybody's on track. So that was the sort of end of November, beginning of December. Then we had the break. We're now into week 7 of the course. Couple of chapters to read, which are about working with different groups of staff, part-time teachers and contract faculty, or hourly paid lecturers, short-term fill-in posts and so on. There's also a task which I've added in this year about mental health, which I'd like you to discuss in your tutor groups, because we recognise, within the context of this extreme busyness that everybody's feeling at the moment, how difficult it is to manage all of the different aspects to your role. And at the recent Heads of Education Development Conference, there was a discussion about mental health and well-being of staff, not just those in education development, but across universities. So that's really the reading for this week. And then looking ahead, week 8, we'll be continuing working on the case studies and doing a little bit of work around project work, and perhaps getting you to reflect back on some of the earlier reading and thinking that you did. The week 9 focuses on research in education development, and hopefully this will be a springboard for you to think about how you research and reflect. Your case studies are a sort of a mini research case study project, potentially to go on, as have others who've taken this course, to publish in the future. And then at the end of January, hopefully you'll have completed your case studies, you've got those in your portfolio, and we'll be focusing through to the end of the course on management and values, and then concluding the last talk week is on the 4th of February, week 11, when we'll be talking about evaluation, reflective practice and so on, as a springboard to going forward into next year, when hopefully as a graduate of this course and a fellow CEDA you engage in the CPD triads. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Please do get in touch with your tutor. I know some people are really struggling time-wise, but we'd be much happier knowing that from you and supporting you than it coming to some sort of crunch point towards the end of the course. So please keep in touch, and it would be great if everybody could just check in and touch base with their tutors this week. Okay, thanks very much and best wishes. Bye.